Hello. So I got a deck today that I've been waiting. I feel like I've been waiting for years for this deck. I mean, it's from one of my favorite creators, Peter Moorbacher. And I'm trying to remember. It's the Angelarium Oracle of the Fallen. It just arrived today. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. But I know after I got the Oracle of the Watchers or the Oracle of Emanations, after I got the other Angelarium deck, there was another one up on Amazon, but it was never fulfilled. Like there were reasons. Samyaza, Angel of Pride at the tippy top. Okay. What's the point of this? I'm sorry. There's like this piece of cardboard in it. I'm like, that's why I'm like, what's the to have a bigger box? Anyway, it's fine. Um, ooh, we got full art in the book this time. Chazakiel, Angel of the Mist. Okay, because that's one I've been seeing. And eighth Angel of Anger. Okay, there are a few angels. Okay, there are some angels in here. Oh wow, hold up, that I haven't seen. But yeah, there was one that was up on Amazon for that I had pre-ordered on Amazon, but it never got made. And then he came up with a Kickstarter for these. I think these may be a different size than the other ones. Oh wow! So they're like glossy. Well, these are matte. First of all, I don't know if the other ones are matte. Let me just grab them. Let me just grab them. Also, happy Mercury Direct. Mercury Direct. Whoop, 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 whoop. Mercury went direct, and it seems like the whole world went resume. So the Oracle of Emanations is the one that I already had. Now, when I got this, I also pre-ordered another one on Amazon. Yeah, these are glossy, but that one wasn't fulfilled. And I don't know if I can't remember if it was the Oracle of the Fallen. I'm assuming so. Behind the Watchers, guardian angels who helped forge humanity only to inevitably turn to darkness. I think this is one, but I think it was Oracle of the Watchers. I wish I could actually. I might. I might be able to get on Amazon and see. Maybe. I may not. Does it matter? Ultimately, no, but it don't hurt to. Um, what's that? I don't know why Taylor Swift is in my head. Blank Space. The song that she wrote that's like about Death Note. Amazon. Let me try to get my thoughts together. Yeah, it's not on here because that order got canceled. So it wouldn't be because it never came out. Anyway, it's fine. It ain't about this, it's about these. I'm trying to see if these are the same size. Nope. It looks like so the emanations are glossy and the fallen are matte and a little bigger. Those are two card backs. La la la. La 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 la. I mean, there aren't that many, so let's get 4 of these. Do a little shuffling. Do a little shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Sariel and Armoros, Angel of Undoing, and the Angel of the Waning Moon. What an interesting combination. And then there's the Exile, Azazel. That's interesting. So, because usually the name is there, but it's just Azazel. Or Azazel. I don't know how you pronounce it. Let's get 4 angels. Now, it looks like some of them, like Semyaza and Armor, no, because that was a different art for Armoros. Some of them have different art that I haven't seen. Okay. Let's just do 1. Oh my gosh! I was wondering Bezaliah would be in this deck. When I first got the Angelarium Year 2, Bezaliah would come out all the time. Two. Chazakiel, Angel of the Mists. I don't know how to pronounce these correctly, so I do my best. The third is Satariel, Angel of Deception. Oh, gosh. Angel of Deception. Some of these cards. Ooh, in reverse. I picked it up in reverse, but it's fine. And then. Oh, okay. No. That's like too many. All right. The last one is the Angel of Calculation, Butator. This is one I haven't seen. Bottom of the deck is Gadriel, Angel of War. I guess I'll just read them. I don't know. Should I? I'm actually going to partner them up with one of the emanations. So with Bezaliel is Yasad, Root Connection. With Chazakiel is Sukloth, Angel of Verdancy. With Satario is Keter, the Crown. So we have the root and the crown. And then for a Butator, the angel of calculations, or the angel of calculation is Chakma or I don't know. I don't know. Right eye wisdom. Bottom of the deck over here is Uriel, the angel of flame. Uriel and Cadriel. Now, what's interesting, it's like between Uriel and Butator, like the heads are similar-ish, or the things on top of the head. Behind Uriel, angel of flame, is Phanuel, angel of truth. What the? And Phanuel, it's like what Phanuel is holding looks very similar to that. To the head of Uriel and Butator, or what's on their heads. So now we're gonna read from the book. I'm gonna do what I do decently. I was gonna say do what I do best. Bezaliel, Angel of Shadows. I'm excited to see. Part of me isn't surprised to see Bezaliel. Page 25. So Bezaliel, Angel of Shadows. Bezaliel's demeanor was calm and simple, but his presence made people uneasy. He had a blank, expressionless face that stayed half hidden by his hood. It's interesting that his expression is blank because the blank space or whatever that Taylor Swift song is came out. All right, it popped in my mind. His shadow hung in the air like a specter, failing to stick to the ground. This twisted impersonator projected a ghastly sense of lifelessness as it floated nearby. In the right light, it was hard to tell Bezaliel and his shadow apart. If you couldn't say for certain what you were looking at, it was easier to just avert your eyes. He was kind to his brothers and the few friends he kept, but even still, to everyone else, he was a creeping death, an unsleeping, unblinking dread that existed everywhere and nowhere, all the time. He walked through your dreams at night, watching from a distance and saying nothing. Domain, paranoia, fear, and isolation card meaning. Revealing this card is a reminder that the concerns you are experiencing might be illusory. It's easy to become fixated on ideas that haunt us. Recognizing a pattern of thought for what it is rather than what it looks like is a powerful tool. Now might be a suitable time to test your assumptions about what is really haunting you. And then under that came Yesod, root connection. But the interesting thing about Yesod sometimes is the question, let me see, because I feel like Keter isn't a good, in Chakma, you can kind of see it like here, there, and a lot of the ones corresponding to the 10 Sephira, or the 10 emanations of the Kabbalah world tree. Kabbalah tree of life. Okay. There's like one, but there are two on Yesod. There's this one over here, and then there's the one right here. But maybe the fact that there are two of them plays into this Bezaliel, like Bezaliel shadow floats around him, or around it. I'll just say him. Bezaliel's shadow floats around him, and in the right light, you can't tell which one is the angel and which one is the shadow. And in most cases, it's easier to just avert your eyes and look away. So what's interesting, another thing that's interesting about this combination is that Yesod is the root and connection, but the shadow of Bezaliel is ungrounded. I mean, would that not be an easy way to tell which one is the angel and which one is the shadow? I guess. Like if its feet touch the ground, unless neither one of them are touching the ground. But when Bezaliel comes out, sometimes it's a question, it's that question of like, which is the shadow, which is Bezaliel? Especially in this one, because it's like, I feel like sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's that one. Am I going to read your side? Sure. Now they're a lot shorter. Typically, kind of, sort of. And this one. The ninth emanation, the foundation that supports the world and forms the gateway between the spiritual and the physical. Yesod is the medium through which we experience the tree of life. Upon his shoulders rests the sky, and all that lies beyond it runs through his fingers. We stand at this doorway and peer through, seeking answers to our nature. That's so interesting. Because so much of nature, especially in the Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering cards, no, not it was those were the Innistrad, Midnight, whatever Dungeons and Dragon cards. And then in the most recent one, like what is our nature? And the truth of our nature sort of being revealed in different circumstances. As a single column again, the flow of energy through the tree only moves downward. Yesod is the last step before moving into the fully physical realm. He is the looking glass through which we examine ourselves, found in new life, speech, and a doorway. Suklaf, angel of verdancy, is here. Sandalphon is the angel of new life, I believe. It's interesting that the angel of shadows again to be clarified by Yesod, the gateway between the spiritual and the physical. I feel like it's appropriate. And maybe it's just because of all of what the shadow encompasses or can encompass as the things that like we either aren't aware of or refuse to be aware of. Um, it feels like in our own conscious, within our conscious self, it's easier for us to try to delineate the physical from the spiritual. But on the backside, it's like it all sort of blurs and merges into one. Next is Chazakiel, the angel of mists. I'm trying to see if there's anything that differentiates. Oh, there it is. Right after Bezaliel. Chazakiel, angel of mists. Chazakiel loved his home in the sky, but reluctantly followed his brethren to earth. He loved them too much to be left behind, but he couldn't bring himself to fully commit to a corporeal body. Unwilling to fully descend and unable to ascend, he was left to exist between worlds. He lived dissatisfied with his own existence, avoiding confrontation with the reality of what he was. Domains are grief, depression, and obsession. Card meaning: despair creeps up slowly and seductively. The romance of sadness brings us into its embrace and shields our eyes from the light in the world. If you are drawing this card, ask yourself if your vision has narrowed. Peer beyond the fog. Look for a glimmer in the distance rather than the shadows at your feet. No matter how tight the walls close, the larger world is always still out there. This one paired with Suckloff, the Angel of Verdancy. So with just these four, there's this question that was asked in both of these. A reminder that the concerns we are experiencing might be illusory in Bezaliel. And then over here it talks about the seductive presence of despair and the romance of sadness. Ask yourself if your vision has narrowed. Are our concerns illusory? Has our vision narrowed? Because beyond the mists is the Angel of Verdancy. But Verdancy, because it's so green, it's almost inherently very grounded. Like it's very earthy. Like Verdancy, or like being verdant, is a very earthy sort of like thing. It's like a state of greenery. And they're like plants don't fly in the sky. Not to say that they're just comparatively, contextually. I wish I'd have a few Angel Tarot decks. I have the Angel Tarot and the Archangel Power tarot cards. I want to see. I'm going to keep reading these, I guess. Because this shadow, the floating shadow, and the ungroundedness of Chazakiel, there's interesting parallels between those two. Oh, and even the root. So we have root connection, which is very, very grounded here, with verdancy here. So both of these are like grounded energies, even though Yesod is at the gateway between the physical and spiritual. So at Yesod, it's the last stop before it's the fully physical Malkut. I was like, what? I know it starts with the M. The fully physical Malkut is beyond Yesod, but then as you go up, it gets more and more spiritual. Now, I guess the gateway between the physical and spiritual, is interesting because of the double mirror of the Judgment and the Hermit and the Mystical Mondays Tarot. Like the internal, external, physical, spiritual. So Suckloff, Angel of Verdancy, that sounded fine. Suckloff, Angel of Verdancy, the wind. Oh, there's the wind again. The wind and Taming the Wind from yesterday. The wind moves through the grass in waves, carrying with it the seeds of growth. It flows across the landscape and burrows into the cool soil. Beneath the fallow earth, seeds vibrate and burst, changing the loam. The transmuted life already craving the open air and the ecstasy of sunlight. It is nature and natural for plant life to seek the sky and the blessing of the sun. But the simple act, no prayer, The dominion of Suckloff expands. No, with the simple act, no, prayer. There we go. The dominion of Suckloff expands. Commas are so important. With open hands, Suckloff denies decay and defies entropy. All is verdant where Suckloff wanders. Let your roots take hold and allow the gaze of Suckloff to fall on you. It is the season for blossoming. Signs a branch, a flower, and a seed. Now, the blossoming is interesting because in the wild unknown archetypes, no, in the wild unknown alchemy, when I did Angels and Alchemy, the last alchemy was of spring, and spring talked about the blossoming. Even the first one, Xanthosis, the yellowing, and the transformation. It had an energy of like the egg hatching, seeds budding, blooming, blossoming. This, with open hand, Suckloff denies decay and defies entropy. The other night, so in my bedroom next to my bed, I have basically 2 nightstands. And I have a projector in my room because I don't have a TV. And I was like, oh, I'll get a projector. And so I took my glasses off, and then when I was done, I turned it off and I put the remote on the nightstand. When I woke up, because my glasses were folded like that. When I woke up, the remote was inside of there, inside of my glasses, and it made me think, because I know entropy is a thing, but there's almost this reverse entropy type of. It's this phenomenon where things will end up in configurations. Things without effort will end up in configurations that seem like they would require a lot of effort, or ways that would require intention. Just like in general. And of course, I can't think of any specifics, but it's like if you were to just toss a bottle and it lands upright instead of it landing literally any other kind of way. It's stuff like that. And entropy is one of the laws of physics where the universe tends to chaos and disorder and things sort of falling apart. But at the same time, at least molecularly, it's like you'll have things that settle in their most stable configurations and forms. Like when you get a bunch of atoms together, the molecule overall will stay in a configuration that's geometrically pleasing, more in a way. So it's on some scales, or in some ways, it's like the entropy that is the universe. It's almost like the opposite is true. And then Google News, whatever, on my phone, it was scientist discovers evidence that we live in a simulation. Ooh, sorry. A new study says we may be living in a variable universe. Whatever that means. Dark energy, what's this say? Dark energy's grip on the cosmos could be more fickle than scientists once believed. But it talked about how it seems like entropy is decreasing or something like that. And it was it makes it seem like the universe is digital or whatever. But it used entropy, and I was like, that's it. Because I woke up with that thought, I think yesterday morning. I don't think it was this morning, because this morning when I woke up, I had to get ready. I didn't have time to think. Or maybe it's I had taken a nap. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. And this says, suckle out the angel of urgency defies entropy there. I was like, how did I end up on this? Because of that. Next, we move to Sotariel clarified by Keter. Like the last two are so like upper chakra, upper emanations. You get literally the very first one at the top, and then the one immediately to the right, the lower right, and then you get Yesod, which is like right above Malkuth, the one at the very bottom. Oh wait, that was Satario right there. No, not Sario. Hold up, are these not? These are not in order. They're like almost alphabetical at some points, and then not. Sotariel, Angel of Deception. While Samyaza created the flax of truth, Sotariel spun it into thread and wove it into the very reality around him. Beyond his smoothly guided words and expressive gestures, his skin itself brought his tales to life. He was entrancing. The patterns of his wings would flex and flow with his impersonations, making his performances irresistible to watch. Domains are lies, drama, and delusions. Drawing this card is an opportunity to consider the ways in which you might deceive others and the ways in which you might deceive yourself. The masks we wear may shield us from the harshness of the world around us, but they also function as a gateway to descend into roles that shade our authentic selves from the conscious mind. Be wary of the stories you tell about yourself. And then we have Keter spirituality under that. Oop. Now this one should be easy because it's the very first one. Keter the crown, spirituality, the first emanation, the first utterance, the font of energy through which Ein Sof emanates into the universe. The crown sits above the head and embodies that which is beyond our comprehension. One must envision Keter not as an object that can be perceived, but as the light that is cast upon it. Keter's light is beyond knowability, a timeless expanse of pure consciousness. Only through respect for our own limitations do we begin to see the shadow of its nature. It is the dark orb beyond which lies the infinite. As the highest point on the tree, all continuums cascade downward from it. Keter stands in contrast to Malkuth, who rests at the very bottom of the tree. The span that lies between them measures the complete distance from the most spiritual to the most physical aspects of our existence. Journeying downward from this point, all other emanations become increasingly close to our present experience, found in spiritual epiphany, faith, and humility. That's an interesting combination. What's interesting to me, this makes me think of it was the third pile when I did the 3 piles, and it was like the dishonest associations or something like that. And one of the ways that I could have read that was like that was someone who saw themselves as less capable than they were. So they seek out partnership, or they seek out validation, or they seek out those who they deem to be true whatevers when they don't need to. Like if they want to collaborate, they can. But the dishonest association is that they need to collaborate because they're not good enough on their own. And so it makes me think of that because there's something about the unknowability of the light of Keter that feels like that's what Satariel, like that's the deception. That's the illusion. That's the lie. That something that is deemed as unknowable actually isn't. So if I were to look at these three, then it's like that would be someone who may be like, oh, well, I'll never, whatever. Because in Bezaliah, like it's something about our concern illusory. Like, let's say this is someone who's like, I'll never be able to cook. I don't know. This is someone who's like, oh, I'm never going to be a chef because I'm never able to cook. That's the illusory concern. There's some illusory concern about them not being a chef. And then there's a whole lot of like sadness and worry that comes in Chazakiel. But Satariel, like that's a self-deception. That's the lie that someone tells themselves that they then believe. Because in reality, it's like they're a very skilled chef. They're like Michelin rated, Michelin star or whatever chef. Not the restaurant, like the chef. So wherever that chef goes, that wherever they cook, that becomes a Michelin star restaurant because the person in the back cooking, making all the meals is Michelin rated. You know, I don't know if that's how it works, but in the metaphor, that's how it works. And then we have Butator, the angel of calculations, with Chakma, right eye wisdom. Now this one should be towards the back here somewhere. Okay, not that far. These are the fallen angels. So a lot of their domains seem to be rough. It's like they fell so that we don't have to. Buddhator, angel of calculations, perched on the edge, civilization. Perched on the edge, civilization. Perched on the edge of civilization. Buddhator kept a distance from his brethren. His perch was at the edge of the forest, upon the line where the broken stumps demarked the boundary between the king's influence and the remaining autonomy of nature. It was from this vantage point of disharmony that he built his domain. Every step deeper into the wilderness was documented in his ledgers. Progress was pulled from the landscape and pressed as ink against paper. It was not the destruction itself that captivated him, but the process of it. Every step forward was an opportunity to build on his increasingly elaborate collection of tallies. Domain, numbers, dates, routines, card meaning. Hold up. Did I finish reading? I'm like, did I finish reading Keter? Yeah, found in spiritual epiphany, faith, and humility. Okay. For some reason, I couldn't remember where Keter was found. So it's easy to get lost in facts and figures. Overemphasizing their importance might be coming at the expense of more important aspects of your current situation. Take a step back and look at the culmination of your work. Don't miss the forest for the trees. And then we have Chakma, right eye wisdom. Chakma, right eye wisdom. The second emanation, a vessel to hold that which is most precious. Precious. Focus, please. Thank you. Oh, if it blur. Eve, I am doing well. I got the deck. I was so excited. I'm so excited. Safe flights, safe travels. I hope you get home speedy, quick. Thank you for stopping by. It's been a minute. The second, oh yeah. Yeah, the second emanation, a vessel to hold that which is most precious. The first gate out of potentiality, and a step into the realm of the known. Chokma is the first moment a newborn child opens its eyes, that child's first steps and first word. He is the beginning of a lifelong journey whose path disappears over the horizon. Where Keter is the pen that hovers over the page, Chokma is the moment of contact. From nothingness, wisdom is formed. To have insight into that which is not known is a gift that is not bestowed lightly. The great orb breaks the surface of our consciousness. Descending from the summit of the tree, we see its duality begin to form. Chokma sits atop the pillar of mercy, forming the first masculine aspect of the diagram. Its partner, Bina, opens next to reveal the two eyes through which we see the world, found in birth, intuition, and the subconscious. Yeah. They're like matte. I was like, what? Not that it's bad. I just wasn't expecting matte because I feel like the other ones have been glossy. Maybe not. They're really nice though. And I feel like there are some cards that I've only seen in the Angelarium year twos, and they're so much smaller than these. This is interesting. It's interesting because Budator doesn't delight in destruction, but it seems like Budator, it only mentioned the destruction and the falling apart of things, which is kind of that entropy. And then we have Chakma, which is the right eye. So it is almost like it's focusing solely on one aspect or one half of the picture. With only one eye, it's difficult to perceive depth. Now, usually, okay, for you, I'm gonna like every other card. So here's Eighth, Angel of Anger. It looks very different from the year two Eighth. Now I'm just showing the cards. We'll skip these two. Barakiel, Angel of Lightning. Whoa, that's different. I might try not to look at them. Pura, Angel of Forgetting. That's a new angel for me. But Zadkiel, Angel of Memory, is another deck. No, I'll skip these two. Ananiel, Angel of Storms. Sound like a little. No. I didn't know if it was like a little temple. We'll skip these two. The King, Samyaza. So this deck has two Samyazas too. Okay. See, something about this one. First of all, Fanuel, Angel of Truth, waits to give the cloak. This is the Samyaza that I see as like wearing it. Wearing the cloak that Fanuel waits at the throne to give. But because this guy is like half hooded, it makes me think of the entry for Bezaliel, Angel of Shadow. And how it mentioned like his face was always half shrouded. excuse me, skip 3. I'm skipping 3 this time. And then we have Armoros, Angel of Undoing. Skip 1, 2, 3. Samyaza, Angel of Pride. So we see the second Samyaza. Between them, the king, Samyaza, and then Armoros, the Angel of Undoing, and then the other Samyaza. That's interesting. Because we have the king, the undoing, and then Samyaza, Angel of Pride. This is almost, it almost makes me think of, in Greek mythology, the 3 judges of the underworld, mostly 2 out of the 3, but the 3 judges of the underworld, Aeacus, Rhadamanthus, and Minos. How Aeacus and Rhadamanthus were like they like in their lifetimes, they were kings who were very like wise and who had excellent moral characters. And it wasn't for not having things that they had to overcome. And I guess it's also making me think of Dennick, the pious one. How Dennick was the pious apprentice in life, and in death, it's Dennick, the pious apparition. Like if the undoing is sort of like death, then even in death, it's like Samyaza becomes an angel because of the type of king that Samyaza was on earth. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4. I looked. We have Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen. Tamiel is another one that used to pop up a lot. I mean, I say that as if I use this deck every day. And then we'll do the bottom or the top one. Sakiel, Angel of Coin. Another one I haven't seen. Or another new one for me. So yeah, that's a few more of these. Yeah, and then the rest. I'm like, oh, this is another one. I'm looking. Oh, well. Who is this? Samshiel? Or Samsiel? Angel of the Eclipse? What? Wah, 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 wah. This don't necessarily mean anything. I was just kind of sort of pulling. But yeah, again, following off of that, it's like looking at the world with only one eye. Like there's no depth, or there's not improper, there's an unfair weight on one side of something. So like if this is like they feel so that we don't have to, it would almost be a warning of only looking at one side of a situation. Because again, like the bottom of the deck, we have the root, the angel of urgency, and like the crown spirituality. Like it's like there's so much verdancy, there's so much growth and green on earth that we should be able to draw some spiritual wisdom from that. But everything up here, it's very like one-sided, and it's almost like primarily focused on the negative. So again, I guess I'm not surprised that like all of the beauty is literally right under the surface. It's funny. There we go. But I guess if Buddhatar, the angel of calculation, was there at the creation of everything, then all of the creating has more or less been done. So any calculations or notes or interests that Buddhatar would have had in the creation, it would be sated. And now that the creation is up there, then it's like, well, let's see how it sort of like falls apart. I think if I was looking at this from a different perspective, it would almost feel a little bit more like me too. If it is, you gotta let me know. I've been like, as soon as I got the email that it was like in the mail or the label was created, I've been checking it like 10 times a day at least. I've been checking it 10 times an hour. And then I saw Friday, and then I was like, I don't know, I just had a feeling. I had a feeling, or I had a hope. I woke up with hope in my heart that maybe it might actually arrive today. And it said that it would be. I was like, yes, Mercury is direct. Why make me wait? How long is that? Or how long do you have until you're home? Oh, but yeah, if I were to look at that in another way, it's almost like it could be that in the creation of the universe, in the creation of the world, there were certain things that were put in place to like help or guide or whatever. And so it's almost like in the destruction or in the falling apart, it's waiting. It's almost like waiting to see if we'll notice or catch on to some things. I guess it's like if someone were in an escape room and the people who run the escape room are like rooting for the people in the room, and it's like, oh, come on, like the clue is right there or whatever type of. And maybe those are opportunities. You're boarding in a couple minutes. Nice. Um, Maybe those are like opportunities to reverse entropy, to bring life back into the creation. Satario, or Shatiel, Angel of Silence. Shatiel. I don't know how to pronounce these. Um, but it's like to bring Angel of Silence and the Angel of Silence and dot null emptiness. I have to cut. Yeah, it's like if it is like deteriorating, then it would be these things to bring life back into it, to like restart it, kickstart it, jumpstart it, to stave off the destruction. Cool. Final angel is Azrael, angel of death. And bottom of the deck is that emptiness. That's from the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations. I'm ready for the tarot deck to come out. That's what I'm ready for. Azrael, angel of death. Is it this one? Yep. The assistant to man's creation and the architect of the human body. Azrael stands alone on the shores of mortality, helping remove the souls from the bodies of dying men and women and people, like precious seeds from the rotting core of an apple. The grim harvest is not to be feared, but demands respect as few other things in time and space. From under the shroud of purpose come the hands of Azrael. O death, come to lay your hands upon me. O death, unfurl your fingers from my destiny. O death. Do not search here or there, it will reveal itself in time. It will breach the surface for a moment. It will take you and pull you under. You will know and you will know, and the knowledge will fill you, even as it consumes your soul. Signs are an apple, the ocean, and the skull. It's interesting. For some reason, that breaching the surface for a moment calls to mind Chakma. Where is it? First gate out of potentiality and a step into the realm of the known. The great orb breaks the surface of our consciousness. That's what it was. I guess it's not surprised. Like, there are a lot of people who like have like a near death experience and come back very wise or with an experience that is very close to the other side of the veil. There you go, girl. Get a word, please. Mercury is direct, please. And I guess in death, we find a lot of things that we don't necessarily in life. What happens after death? Well, when you die, you'll find out. For sure. I know. I was like, ugh. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I hope your deck is there when you get home. I look forward to you going live. Later. Safe flights, safe travels. Ooh. All right. There was just like, almost choked on my own spit a little bit. All right. Angels of the Fallen, Oracle of the Fallen, Angelarium Final. Let's get 2 angels because it's a new deck. You can come out together or one after the other. Even if we get 3, I won't do that. Especially if it's 3 that I haven't seen. I can't do it. I can't hit it. I could do it, but I can't whistle it. Anyway, all right. Is that the Lost Woods song from Zelda or no, not Oracle. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I think that's the Lost Forest, Lost Woods. I don't own the rights to the music in Zelda, and I am not trying to have Nintendo shut me down. Zelda or Ocarina of Time. Is it Lost Woods or Kakariko? Lost Woods. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Eight seconds. That should be. Yeah, that's the Lost Woods. Okay. Final 2 angels from the Angelarium Oracle of the Fallen. Please. Please. I should like come up with a spread or something. I don't know. I'm gonna y'all gonna have to make some noise. I'm gonna shuffle in silence until. Okay. Oh. So the builder Sophlatus came out, and Zadkiel, Angel of Mercy, came out. I'm pretty sure Zadkiel is in the Oracle of Women. Maybe not. The Builder and the Angel of Mercy. I'm pretty sure Zadkiel is in here. Because I've read Zadkiel. It might be the last one. Zacriel. Some of these angels I ain't seen in a minute. Or some of these names I ain't read in a minute. Zadkiel, Angel of Mercy, yeah. The one who metes out forgiveness and the one who judges transgression. Zadkiel is the swift gavel as well as the crushing hammer. Those who have sinned against your fellow man, Zadkiel may relieve you of your punishment, but in asking you submit yourself to the scales of the angel's judgment and wrath. Zadkiel sees all the cracks and seams of the soul, finds all the things we cover up to convince ourselves of the illusion of a moral existence. Zadkiel reminds us to reveal our failings openly and be judged by those that have the power to forgive. It is only the just who may make such reckoning. Signs are scales, rising smoke, and a gavel. And there's kind of, I don't know if those are clouds or rising smoke, but the way that those clouds are falling from the hands of this angel. Sophlatus is the angel of dust, I think, as well. The builder, Sophlatus. But that's the Zadkiel from this, from the Oracle of Emanations. Let's see the Zadkiel from the Oracle of the Fallen. 67. 67. When sins were punished, the king chose not to soil his hands with the messy task of enforcing his will. That grim responsibility fell to Zadkiel, who bore it with pride. There was no remorse in his heart when he took a life. For his work, he was granted great honor among the brotherhood. People gawked at the train of fine gold cloth that dragged in Zadkiel's wake as he marched to his appointments. But what really caught their eye was the glint of his resplendent blade flashing unsheathed in the sunlight. Whenever the sword of justice was witnessed, blood would be spilt on that day. Domain, justice, sin, and reprisal. Card meaning, you have been given permission to act, but your actions don't come without a price to others. The moments when you feel most justified are also when you need to show the greatest respect to others. If there is an opportunity to be merciful, put down your sword and let your power speak for itself. That is so interesting. Put down your sword and let your power speak for itself, because I feel like more often than not, like we would attribute our power with the sword and the using of the sword with us being in our power, using our power. But when Duma, the Angel of Dreams, came out with the Angel of Taurus, in that Angels in Alchemy, yeah, it was the same one. I didn't title it Angels in Alchemy. I should have. But there was an energy there within that was that, like, sometimes using our power isn't us winning or using the sword or whatever. Sometimes us being in our power is to let something go. And it was because Duma was swathed in silver and gold. Silver is that which eternally shines in second place. Now, the wink, wink, nudge, nudge is that it's white gold. It's not silver, but, if people think it's silver, then hey. Or that's the vibe. The vibe is that it's actually white gold. It's not silver. The builder, Cephalus. The vast emptiness of the desert became a canvas for Cephalus. Upon that blank space, again, there's the blank space. He constructed miraculous structures and statuary. Mockeries of animals and people built from the dust itself rose out of the cracked earth. Hundreds of bone-white creatures twisted in forms of dance and jubilation. Countless fields of artificial bodies baked under the burning sun, yet the angel sat alone. Card meaning, what we create can define us more than any other choice. You have a chance to create something new, something that will leave your mark upon the landscape. Allow yourself to be bold enough to let inspiration guide your hand. The results will affect people beyond your reach. That's an interesting combination. All right, let me find. You have been given permission to act, but your actions don't come without a price to others. You may have a chance to create something new, something that will leave your mark upon the landscape. Interesting. Bottom of the deck is Kokabiel, Angel of the Stars. Does Kokabiel have two thumbs? I'm sorry. It looks like it. I think the hand of Kokabiel is like mirrored. So it's like two thumbs and two pointer fingers. So if it was like, I don't know how to do fingers. These would these would go down, these would stay up. So if it was like this, but if like you didn't see my folded finger, it's like this, but like that way, like that, where there are two thumbs and two pointer fingers. Anyway, I'll just show you. And is that the Hamsa? I think that's what that's called. The hand. This is interesting. Kokabiel, Angel of Stars. The childlike angel Kokabiel saw visions in the stars that his brothers did not. He saw ineffable mysteries unfolding in the night sky. Though he spoke about these auguries often, it was difficult to take useful information from his readings. The places and events that he described were in vivid detail, but failed to resemble the earthly world. At first, the obtuse quality of Kokabiel's information was seen as a form of higher wisdom, beyond the reach of men's minds. As time went on, most just dismissed him as crazy. Domain, wonder, divination, and innocence. Okay, so some of these have domains that aren't like lies, betrayal, illusion, fear. Cool, love it. Drawing cards from a divination deck certainly speaks to a latent curiosity, but drawing this card specifically may speak to a deeper desire to seek answers from the infinite. When a question hangs over our heads, it does so with the same intensity as starlight and clear sky. Seek your answers, but don't be dazzled by the dance of faraway glimmers. Interesting. I kind of like that. I feel like I need more cards like that. I don't think I'm this. Well, I don't know if I have a card that's like it's deeper than you think. I guess the High Priestess could be like that, but I never read her like that. Drawing this card specifically may speak to a deeper desire to seek answers from the infinite. Well, okay, that's not necessarily how I was like what I was thinking of. Maybe like the moon, or maybe a combination of cards. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like what I think of is like because Cephalus builds with dust, but when I was looking at the hand of Cocadiel, it's almost like someone who builds with stars or starlight. And I feel like that would explain the shadow of Bezaliel that's ungrounded. Or that would explain all of the floating sort of energy that came out earlier. So, in the way that I read Bezaliel, in the way that I read those four, it could also be read as the opposite. Meaning, like someone who envisions and dreams of greater, but the greater that they dream of belies the reality that they live in. And so then the angel of calculation, in a different sort of way or mode or modality, seeks those within the spiritual to build so that the vision will come to pass. But the builder is here. So interesting. I wonder if that's the same. I think that's the same art for Zadkiel too. I wonder if there are other angels that are here. Some of these angels I ain't seen in a minute. Used to see them all the time. Yep. Well, yeah. Zadkiel, Angel of Mercy. Trying to look to see if there's anything like subtly different. Oh. There's like this starlight that's hitting the crown of Zadkiel. You see that? It's almost like, well, I don't know if it's going in or coming out, but regardless, there's that light, pillar of light. There you go. You can see it. Is that from Cocadiel? Or is it connected to the same almost source? I don't know. What is this power? Is it a power of creation? A power of building? Put down your sword and let your power speak for itself. What does it mean? Who did this one? Oh, Los Scarabeo did this one. This one is Page Street Printing Company. This one was on Kickstarter. Eve was like, "Did you get the email?" I was like, "What email? What are you talking about? I need to back this right now." And then I saw the email. So thanks again, Eve, for making sure I'm in the loop. Because I very much so would have been upset if this had dropped and I didn't get it. Peter Morbacher is one of my favorite creators. Just like if Peter Moorbacher makes something, especially a deck, I'm probably gonna get it. If Kim Crayons makes something, I'm probably gonna get it. And besides that, Benabel, like if she makes something, I'm probably gonna get it, especially if it's a deck. I know there's like some books and stuff that she's written, author, but I'm not really a huge book person. So anyway, that was that. Angelarium Oracle of the Fallen has come out. I think. Oh, look, Kakabio's on the front. People just said that Kakabio was crazy. And Kakabio's like, I've seen it in the stars. I'm not crazy. I could tell you word for word all the details. Excuse me. I don't know. There are some decks where I'm like, I want to use this deck or I want to use that deck. And then when I pick them up, I'm like, I'm just going to play with it. But I don't know. I want to like build spreads and stuff again. I still haven't figured out my Surface book, and that's what I use to make all of them. And it was so like nice and convenient. And I'm just like, without my Surface book, I don't want to build them any other kind of way. But I might. Give me, I was going to say 24 hours, but depending, I might, I got video games to play tomorrow. I'll come up with something. We'll see. The Oracle of Emanations, the Oracle of the Fallen. I feel like I really need to understand like the differences and the different like tiers, hierarchy, the hierarchy of angels and all that stuff. Like I need more knowledge and information to really build something that takes those things into consideration in a way that is beyond just like what intuitively comes in the moment. You know what I mean? So it's been an hour 18. I was like, I think I still got that, but I got one more booster pack left. All right, so I hope you all have an amazing whatever. Whenever you see this, I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, what you find. Thank you, E, for stopping by. I hope your deck is at home when you get home and that your trip home is quick, easy, safe, and nice. And for the rest of yous, I'll see you when I see ya. Bye.